My name's Jimmy.
What's up, you guys? Jimmy here, back at you with another review for The Flash Season 2. And this is the 4th episode titled The Fury of the Firestorm, which I would have to say I definitely loved this episode for the fact that this is actually a Firestorm episode. And plus, from the comics, I'm kind of a fan of the character. But this episode it actually continues off from the end of last week's episode, which we see that they are trying to find another candidate, being the other half of Firestorm, because without that candidate, Martin Stein will become unstable and die. But some of the things I loved from this episode, first being Henry Hewitt, who was one of the candidates. They tried seeing if he was a match. It didn't work, but he leaves pissed off. And I knew at that very moment, and later getting confirmed in the episode, he is Fury. Which Fury is actually a monstrous-looking version of Firestorm that would be created when they would do their fusion, and anger would be involved, or they would be literally fighting each other. So it's not exactly the same from the comics, even though at one point I thought Henry and Stein were going to become Fury themselves, but it's still their own little take on the episode, on the character, which I say originality here and there, it can be a good thing, which I thought it was very interesting because people were wanting to see Fury in this episode, because one thing being the name of the episode, but we still got him. So I'd say that's a win-win for them and for us. But another thing is that Jefferson Jackson, the other candidate, he is actually a character from the comics, so he is not a character made up for the Flash or for the Legends of Tomorrow. But he has never became Firestorm. But he actually does originate from the Firestorm comics, Volume 2, to be exact. So, again, we get some more originality, which is never necessarily a bad thing, which I would like to see what they have planned for the future of this character. Because, me being a Firestorm fan, sort of a Firestorm fan, I'm definitely looking forward to the plans in the future. But, when it came to his casting in the Legends of Tomorrow, people were assuming that he was going to be a cyborg-like character, because his description was so remarkably like Victor Stone, which I guess for a prediction wasn't really necessarily bad, because based on those facts, that's what we would have assumed. So, not a bad prediction. But the last thing I thought was very, very interesting to see. You see the stuff between Francine, Iris's mother, trying to have a relationship with Iris herself. At first Iris is like saying, get out of our lives. And then the truth comes out that she is dying. And Iris, talks to her again, almost willing to give her a chance. But Iris brings up that she had a son 8 months after she left. So, that was a little bit of something that caught me off a little bit of guard. So, whoever this is would be like 19, 20 years old. So, definitely interesting. And I do kind of believe that this might be Wally West. That's what I think it might be. I mean, it's actually different it would make it different than the comics, because in the comics, Iris and Wally West is Iris's nephew. And they're siblings. So it definitely gets me even more excited to when we finally do see Wally West. Which I say, everyone's really looking forward to that the most from this season. And I would like to see, them at one point this season setting up the Legends of Tomorrow. That's what I'd like to see. And maybe see some setup in Arrow as well. Maybe. But that's pretty much my entire thoughts on the episode. Let me know yours down in the comment section below as any other thoughts on this season so far. And you can check out my other reviews, my past reviews for The Flash, Arrow, Gotham, all that great stuff and more. And as always, my name's Jimmy, and until next time, bye.